Alright folks, it's Nikki from Nikki's Supply Store, and this month I'm going to be showing you how to make this super lilac, floral inspired bullet journal theme. Now, my garden is full of these lilac blossoms right now, and they smell absolutely incredible. I've got a few in the bottom right hand corner of my screen right now. And not only do they smell amazing, I really love this colour. I'm obsessed with lilac right now. I've got a lilac fleece that I wear pretty much all of the time, and this jumper that I'm wearing in this video as well was really part of the inspiration for this. So I'm using my lilac mild liner for the brush lettering for June, and I've used a thick edge to create these chunky strokes that are going to be part of my stylized lilac blossom drawings. And for the outline I'm using a Sakura clip milky gel pen, and that's in the purple colour also. And my plan for this month is to use that same gel pen for all of my lists, etc. as well. And I'm going full on lilac with this lilac coloured acrylograph from the Warm Fall 0.7 set. I'm not sure the name of this colour, but I'll find out and pop it in the comments and link to these in the store also. These pens are really good for making super opaque shapes, and I'm going to use them for these little round dot shapes throughout this theme. These are going to be like little accents from the flowers, and the circles underneath the June header are going to be for my year as well, so 2022. Now, these are a paint pen, so it's really important to make sure that they're fully dry before you write on top of them. But once they're dry, they're usually really easy to write on top of with most pens. This gel pen, the Sakura clip, works really well on top of that once it's dried. So I basically went round the stockroom and picked up all of the lilac and purple stuff I could find, and obviously the pastel dot grid paper is making an appearance in this. I am obsessed with this paper still, and the lilac colour is just perfect. I recently got a delivery from Sakura also, which means the quickie glue pens are back, which is great because I used all of mine and then I ran out of stock, so I'm really relieved to have these back in store. As always, everything I use, well, mostly everything, is available at nikkisupply.store.com, and I'll pop links to all of the products that I've used in the description below. So this is an example of something that isn't available in my shop. These super cute little cat stick scissors that I got in Goods for the Study in New York. They're super cute though, and I use them on every possible occasion. Now, the gingham washi is actually almost sold out right now, so apologies if it is by the time you get to the store, but as far as I know, there's plenty of the lilac grid tape, which I've also used here. As much as I loved all the lilac, I felt like it was missing something, so decided to try a little bit of this golden spot washi, which I think was a nice balance between the cool tones of the lilac and the shimmery gold. I'm going to use this in other parts of the spread as well, I think. I always like to use the second page, the one next to my month cover page, as like a month overview. So this would be the place that I put all of the events that were in my future log, so that I can see them at a glance when I open up my journal. So that's going to be the title of this page, At a Glance. And I messed this up. I didn't give myself enough space and I thought maybe I could live with it. But by the time I'd added the shading into the top of the letters, I don't know, it just looked really squashed at the end, and I had a bit of a think as to what I could do about it. And the only thing that I think was gonna work well in this situation was to be a paper patching situation. We've got a blog post over at nikkiSupplyStore.com that lovely Joy Margot wrote, and it's all about correcting mistakes, and paper patching is one of those methods. So if you want to learn more about that or other ways to correct mistakes in your journal, if you want to, you obviously don't need to correct mistakes, and I often don't, but I'll pop a link to that blog post in the description below also if you want to check that out. To disguise the join even further, I'm going to add a little bit of washi tape underneath, and I don't think you can even tell on screen. Obviously when I touch the page I can feel a different in texture, but yeah, I think I disguised that pretty well. So all that's left here is to add the days of the week. Down the left hand side I just use the first letter of each day rather than writing the whole day for the whole month, and then use the thick end of my mild liner to highlight where the weekends are. Now I feel like I should mention that although I've chosen lilac for the theme of this, and it's based on lilac florals, you could replicate this theme in any colour palette that you wanted. So use exactly the same style of pens, the layout, the washi tape, the dot grid, but switch it up for another colour. We've got all of these in loads of different pastel colours, and I think it would look really pretty in blue or even a pink or even orange around about autumn time. That's looking pretty good for my cover page and monthly spread right now. The next thing that I'm going to be working on is my morning page setup, and if you've been here for a while you'll know that this is something that I like to do in every spread, and I'm just going to make sure I continue using the same pens, the same washi tape, the same dot grid paper throughout the whole theme and the whole of June to make sure that everything looks nice and cohesive. I'm going to use this same cursive lettering style with like the little ombre fade on the top sections, and I'll do some of these little doodles as well. I really like this style of floral illustration that I have created for this spread. So going on to my week 1 and week 2 weekly spreads, I'm using my Lilac mild liner again. This pen has had a lot of use in the last few weeks. I am gonna use the thick line to create headers, and I use this layout almost every single weekly spread that I make. It's a 6 grid layout. Obviously the first week in June, I'm not going to need all of those boxes, so I'll leave a little bit of space there to add some illustration in the bottom left hand corner. And the Zebra Sarasa Clip Gel Pen is slightly darker than the Lilac mild liner, so it does make for a good neat header on top of each of those little lilac stripes at the top. I really love a torn dot grid element as well. It's something that I do all the time, and I'm gonna add a little bit of the lilac in this bottom left hand corner just to fill this gap really. I didn't need all of that space for days of the week, so I can have something aesthetic in the corner instead. I use a B5 journal, so I always have a little bit of extra space around my weekly spreads, but if you used an A5 journal, you could definitely adapt the size of this, maybe leaving out the washi tape or making your weekly boxes smaller to make sure that this fit. But I like to have a little bit of coordinating washi usually along the top or bottom of each of my weekly spreads, just to tie everything together. Alright, so I feel at this point like I was almost done, but it just needed something. So I went back into the stock room and I had a look at my sticker collection to see if there was anything that might fit. And I found these little pom-pom room holographic stickers. And these are a super cute Korean sticker brand. They are very slightly holographic when you hold them up to the light. This set is full of little lilac flowers, some hydrangeas, all in like a purpley blue colour, along with some ragdoll kittens. And personally, I mean, I'm not going to argue with adding extra cats to any bullet journal spread, so this makes me extremely happy. The sheet also features these like pinky yellow tulips, which I think I'm going to leave out of this spread, but I'll keep a hold of them in my sticker folder and use them for another project. I've been trying really hard lately to actually use stickers in my sticker collection. I can't be the only one that does this. If you are like me and you have had stickers in your sticker folder or drawer for too many years to possibly admit to, leave me a comment below and yeah, we can talk about our sticker obsessions. It was at this point that I think Frankie realised I was adding a cat element to my journal and promptly came to visit me. He always seems to know when I'm making my monthly bullet journal spread and comes up for a cuddle, which is definitely not a problem for me. And we're done. Shall we do a little flip through? So here's my cover page, my monthly spread, my morning pages, and my weekly setup for week 1 and 2. I'll come back and do the rest later on in the month. Thanks again for watching, folks. I really hope you liked this one. As always, I'll link to everything that I've used in the description below, and if you decide to try this spread out, please tag me wherever you post on social media. I would love to see how you get on. If you liked this video, it would be great if you could give it a thumbs up, and if you want to see more, you could subscribe to my channel and hit the bell button so you get notifications when I post something new. Thanks again, I'll see you next time.